DawgNation's Next Generation series is brought to you by Pella Window and Door of Georgia. Pella, any style, any home, any budget. Visit PellaofGA.com to get started.
Welcome back, DawgNation. I'm Kaylee Mansell with Jeff Sentell, and here we are on week 4 of telling you all about the next generation of talent headed to Athens. Today, we are headed up north for this one. It is Under Armour All-American safety Joenel Aguero, the nation's number 3 safety and number 37 overall prospect. Now, Jeff, on paper, this guy has what it takes, but in your opinion, what makes him a true next generation type of guy?
So it's funny. This feels like it's something for the sponsor. Like I'm trying to be cute and coy or writery, as some people tell me, or whatever. Like my kids say, you're being a writer again. Stop it. But you're talking about a guy, first of all, he's fast, he's physical, he's tenacious, but he looks like a safety. Could even probably drop down in the box and be a linebacker, but he moves like a corner. He has coverage skills like a corner. And I think with Joenel, that's the main thing that sticks out. Like there was a time when he was a 5-star. There was a time when he was the number 1 safety in the country. He's got a unique background in terms of he won a state championship in Massachusetts, but he realized, Massachusetts football isn't kind of like it is in the South. So he decided, you know what, let me go check my oil against some real big boys. He went down to IMG. He played. He started at IMG, rotated with a bunch of other 5-stars, won a mythical national championship there. And then for his senior year, he wanted to go back home. And we can't say this enough, that the IMG experience really is a great segue for guys to go and deal with the pressure cooker that is Georgia, because, time management, working out, psychology, going against a dude every day in practice. That's what they did at the high school level, and they faced the national schedule. So when they get to Georgia, it's not so much of a culture shock.
Now, one thing I found really interesting about Joenel in particular, he actually grew up pretty close to Lucene. I know those guys have a good bond, but aside from that, what other high school factors do you think shaped him into the player that he'll eventually become?
So, yeah, that's a great point. Lewis and Joenel, they didn't know each other in high school growing up, but their communities, Lynn, Massachusetts, where Joenel's from, it's about 15 miles from where Lewis grew up. And Lewis also had to leave the stomping grounds of Massachusetts to go, check his worth against national high school players. He moved down to Texas. So when you look at Joenel, he's a guy that, he's just so, I want to call him like a little ball of hate. Or, and I want to catch myself because he is 6 feet tall. But what I mean is he is just that little man down there mixing it up in the trenches, taking it, trading paint, swapping paint with the big boys, but he's super fast. If you got any Marvel fans out there or movie fans out there, he reminds me a lot of Wolverine. The guy that, could not be dogged out. He was always kept coming, and you couldn't keep him away. Well, that's what Joenel is to me. He's a guy that I think will play early in Athens for a lot of reasons, and that's really all part of his next generation profile.
Now, Joenel is an early enrollee. He's currently in spring practice. So what are the chances that he makes a real impact this fall? Okay,
ever Dog fans, you guys are lamenting the fact that Chris Smith is no longer there and that Dan Jackson is still hurting. So that safety cupboard, besides David Daniel, is a little slight. And that's why I think it's perfect timing for Joenel to come in as an early enrollee. And I think he's going to play a lot on special teams because he's just going to be fast and physical. He can get down and cover really well, especially kickoffs. But I think he's also going to be a guy that they rotate in there, especially find out this spring. This is a Coach Will Muschamp type guy. Muschamp, we got to give a salute, shout out to that guy because he was key. He was integral in this recruitment for the Dogs. And you talk about a guy that loves physicality, that is composed. Now, he likes to run a little hot-tempered, which is fine for a Georgia defender, but fast, used to really tough competition. And the big thing with Joenel that strikes me is he's got huge goals. It matters to him to make an impact in his community. We wrote about him when he was a recruit, how he put on a boys camp in his area of Massachusetts. It was a football camp for boys, and really he's seen a lot of violence in his community, and he wanted to make sure he pumped up a message that football's your way out. The streets don't need to claim you. He wants to be he is a 5-star big brother for a younger brother. I got to see him and spend some time with his family down at the Under Armour All-American game in Orlando. The man has a tattoo that needs to be on a catalog for a tattoo artist. And you look inside the tattoo, and he's got references to his mother, references to family members, references to his little brother. He really wants to make big things happen in Athens. And here's the part where I want you guys to listen in really close. Everybody talks about how Georgia and its way with NIL and all the worries. Everybody says NFL money after 3 or 4 years of developing it at Georgia is so much better than NIL money. Joenel Aguero told me at the Under Armour All-American game that there was a school out there. I'll let you internet sleuths figure it out. They offered him $3 million to come play in an NIL deal, to come play for their school. And Joenel, who had 3 million reasons not to be a dog, still chose to play for Georgia, still chose to play for Kirby Smart and Will Muschamp because he believes in what the program's doing.
One thing I do know is that Joenel Aguero is going to be a playmaker for the Dogs this season, so make sure to tune back with us next week for the next generation of players headed to Athens.
I'm Brian with Pella Window and Door of Georgia. I want to take some time today to share with you a little bit about how we can help you with your local project. You may be interested to know that Pella is the #1 rated brand among homeowners for innovation. That's important here with our Georgia Heat because we offer windows and doors that can help improve your energy efficiency by up to 79%. So if you'd like to learn more about that, come visit one of our local showrooms, check us out on our website, or just give us a call and we can set up an appointment.